Our customers use lead scores in a number of different ways. Probably the most prominent and the one that you think of first is simply using a lead score to prioritize what gets worked on by either your CSRs upfront, making an outbound contact attempt, or once they're in a loan officer or a sales agent or one of your team's queues is prioritizing what they're working on, what they're going to work on next. A couple of other ways to consider that we've seen be really successful. One, with a little atypical and not one that people consider too often, is using it to then distribute leads within your team. If your focus is on equitability and equitable distribution of leads across your team, you might use that lead score to ensure that you have totally equitable lead value through your entire team. So everybody's basically getting the same chance of success. You can also use a lead score then to measure outcomes. And if folks are outperforming on lower value leads or underperforming on higher value leads, you can use that as a way to train and help those sales agents. Another thing that folks are doing is using it to identify gold in their age lead databases. So a lot of times you'll have a lead that will sit in the database for 30, 60, 90 days. You can actually look at activities that have happened over those 30, 60, 90 days and use those now to inform an updated lead score. So if you go back on a 60-day age portfolio of leads, you know initially what was in the lead and how it was scored initially. But now you also have 60 days of contact attempts of some activity that prospects had with you. We can actually include that in an updated lead score. You can use that to determine, hey, is this worth me going after? Because let's face it, not everybody wants to spend a lot of time going after a ton of age leads. And then the actually most popular use case that we've had is really focusing on portfolio retention. Primarily in the mortgage industry, we see a lot of emphasis on retaining portfolios of mortgage borrowers, but we also see it in auto lending. You can see it in insurance as well, where you're looking to cross-sell back into existing customers. You're really identifying who is likely to transact, and that can be with anybody. And maybe in that case, they're likely to leave and to go transact with someone else. And you can also determine who is likely to transact with you as the servicer or the owner of that particular loan. You then use those values to identify which pockets of customers you want to go after. And we've seen that as a really effective way to basically do more and increase your activity on more isolated pockets of prospects with less, because as we know in the financial services industry, there's just less resources to go about.